Hi, my name is Dr. Ryan Smith here at Recharge, and today we're going to talk about reframing how we look at picking heavy things up off the floor. Instead of a correct way and a wrong way to do things, it's where does the load go and how does that make us feel and what muscles are used. So it really all comes down to feel, right? Most people talk about deadlifts and picking heavy things up off the floor because they feel it in their back. Well, the easiest way to go about that is changing your technique, modifying where the load goes, and trying to feel it more in your hips and your hamstrings, or what we call the posterior chain. Let's show you how down below. So let's break this up into three different ways. It starts with mobility, or your ability to get into a position that we call the hip hinge. It's where the hips travel back and I maintain a relatively flat spine. Now, people's are going to look slightly different just based on individual variations. But for the most part, what they'll feel is a lot of tension and loading in the hips when they do this. So that's number one, mobility. Number two has to do with the technique of lifting it up now. So if I can get to this position, can I maintain that as I go to reach down and pick up weight? If I can, I know I have a decent technique to be able to do the deadlift and feel it where I intend to. The last part's the capacity now, and this is weight dependent. For some, they might be able to pick up whatever weight's in front of them and maintain this position all the way through the entire deadlift. For others, it might be they go to pick this up and the back begins to go into this position. Now, that in itself is not inherently bad, but it's putting load on the spine more so than on the hips. So now it's not about necessarily the correct technique, it's that the load's going to a different spot. And what I want to do is load up the hips because they're a very strong structure, and that'll build a resilient back over time when we do so. So there is no good or bad when it comes to lifting things off the floor. What there is physics. The more we can wrap our head around that and try to load the muscles and structures that we want to take on the load and be able to build up a resilient body over time, the better it's going to be. We need to get away from the concept that something is either inherently a best way to do something or the worst way. There's a bunch of different ways, and whatever feels best to you and loads the structures that you want is going to feel best for you over time and allow you to keep doing so.